Right. Okay. Then I think you finished writing this one here. In this subject, web development, we are learning about how to develop web, and we are going to learn the necessary theories also to develop the web. The first thing here, you want to get some little idea about computer network and the internet. Right. Therefore, I am going to giving some idea about. First, I am giving to some idea about computer network. Network means collection of technology devices, or also known as digital devices. Examples may be computers, smartphones, tabs, like that. Right. Especially, we establish computer network system for the purpose of sharing data or communication purposes. Right. Then to connect with each other, then we should have a medium. The medium are two different mediums available. Normally we are using cable or wire medium to connect with each other, or you can use wireless medium also. Right. Some examples for wire medium are twisted pair cables, coaxial cables, fiber optics. Those are the some example for wire medium. The wire medium, wireless medium mean not physically exist wire, physically exist cables, not there. Only signals is available to transfer data from one location to another location. Right. In that way, we can identify what is computer network. Here, look at the diagram there. Diagram shows collection of computers with the collection of computers. In that way, you can identify the what is computer network. Right. Once you identify the identify about the network, computer network, then you can give some idea. You can give a definition for what is computer, what is internet. Internet. Right. Then we'll see what is internet. That's the subject we want to study. Right. Now, write down the subtopic, internet. Right. That the term, the word, give some idea. Internet. Right. Internet. That means collection of network. That earlier we learned what is computer network. In that way, this type of networks are available everywhere in the world. Right? This type of small networks are available anywhere in the world. What is happening on the internet is we can collect all of this internet and we can establish a very large one network. That is called internet or global network. Another name for that, global network. Global network is the collection of network spread throughout the world. Right. You can connect this network with each other through a special hardware device called routers. Routers are used to connect one network with another network. Right. Look at the diagram here. Here, this diagram explain this concept. Whole network. Here in this diagram, you can see there are three networks. These three networks connect with each other using a special hardware device called router. There are three routers you can see in this diagram and the three networks. Then computers or devices we can attach with each network. These are the things you can see in this diagram. This whole diagram we identified as internet or global network. Right. Write down write down this paragraph, then draw the diagram. Right, I think you finish writing and drawing the things here. Right, is it clear up to now what I am explaining here?
Yes, sir.
Right, okay, what about the others?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it need explanation in Sinhala? Little explanation? If you want explanation in Sinhala, right, that one student say yes. Right. However, I giving some. I will give some explanation in Sinhala also. Right. Okay. Then here අපි දැන් සාකච්ඡා කරේ computer network එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද internet කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා. අපි computer network එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ computers වල එකතුවක්. collection එකක් එකතුවක් කියන එක. computers කීපයක් දෙකක් හෝ වැඩි ගණනක් අපිට එකට එක්කව කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතන මේ computer networks අපි හදන්නේ දත්ත data කියනවා share කරගන්න. එක purpose එකක් තව එකක් තමයි sannivedanaය data communication. ඔය කියන අරමුණු වෙනුවෙන් අපි පරිගණක ජාල හදනවා. පරිගණක ජාලයක තියෙන්නේ පරිගණකවල එකතුවක්. පරිගණක විතරක් නෙමෙයි. සමහර විට එතන ඔය ස්මාර්ට්ෆෝන් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් ටැබ්ස් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් වෙනත් ආකාරවල ඩිජිටල් ඩිවයිසස්. නැත්නම් ටෙක්නොලොජි ඩිවයිසස්. මෙන්න මේ කියන වගේ එකතුවක් තමයි පරිගණක ජාලයක් කියලා කියන්නේ. එතන මේ එක පරිගණකයක් නැත්නම් එක ඩිවයිස් එකත් අනිත් එකත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ කරන්න, කනෙක්ට් කරන්න මොකක් හරි මාධ්‍යයක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ, මීඩියම් එකක්. අන්නේ මීඩියම් එක අපිට හඳුනා ගන්න පුළුවන් සමහර ආකාර තියෙනවා physical existent. ඒ කියන්නේ භෞතිකව අපිට පේන්න තියෙන එකක්. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපිට අල්ලලා බලන්න පුළුවන් දෙයක්. wire medium කියලා අපි කියනවා. wire එකකින් කනෙක්ට් කරනවා. කේබල් එකකින්. එතන මේ ජාලකරණය සඳහා ගන්න කේබල්ස් වර්ග තියෙනවා. විවිධ වර්ග. දැන් උදාහරණයක් තමයි මෙතන තියෙන්නේ. twisted pair කියලා. ඒ ඇරෙන්න තවත් උදාහරණ කිව්වොත් දැන් coaxial cable කියන එක. එහෙම නැත්නම් fiber optics කියන ඒවා. මේවත් අපි කේබල් කියන ගණයට තමයි ගන්නෙ. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ කේබල් පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැත්නම් වර්තමානයේ ගොඩක් ජනප්‍රියයි මේ wireless කියන එක. කේබල් නැතුව signals වලින් විතරක් computers සම්බන්ධ කරන්න පුළුවන්කම තියෙනවා. ඔය ආකාරයට සකස් කරපු ජාලයක පින්තූරයක් තමයි ඔය පෙන්눔 කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඊළඟට ජාලය වලින් අපි යනවා ගියා ඉන්ටර්නෙට් අන්තර්ජාලය කියන එක. ඒතර වචනයෙන් මේ අර්ථය එනවා ඉන්ටර්නෙට් අන්තර්ජාල කියන එක. ඒ කියන්නේ ජාලවල එකතුවක්. අපි දන්නවා ජාල කියන ඒවා කුඩා ජාල ලෝකයේ හැමතැනම විසිරීලා තියෙනවා. නේ? සමහර ආයතනවල ජාල තියෙනවා. බිස්නස් ඕගනයිසේෂන් වල තියෙනවා ගොඩක් ජාල භාවිතා කරනවා. මේ හැම ජාලයක්ම එකට එක්කව කරලා එක විශාල ජාලයක් හදනවා. අන්න ඒකට අපි කියනවා අන්තර්ජාලය. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඉන්ටර්නෙට් කියලා හඳුන්වනවා. ග්ලෝබල් නෙට්වර්ක් කියලා කියනවා. ඒතර එක ජාලයක් අනිත් ජාලයත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ කරන්න, කනෙක්ට් කරන්න භාවිතා කරන විශේෂ උපකරණයක් අපි එකට කියනවා රවුටර් කියලා. රවුටර්ස් කීපයක් කරා අපිට පුළුවන් ජාල කීපයක් එකට එක්කව කරන්න පුළුවන්කම තියෙනවා. ඒතර ඒ විදිහට එක්කව කරපු ජාල තුනක් තමයි මේ දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒතර මේ ජාල තුනක් නෙමෙයි අන්තර්ජාලය තුල ලෝකේ පුරා විසිරලා තියෙන විශාල ජාල සංඛ්‍යාවක් එකට එක්කව කරලායි තියෙන්නේ. ඒකට අපි කියනවා අන්තර්ජාලය කියලා. right. ඒතර ඔය ටික තමයි මම පැහැදිලි කරේ. ඊළඟට අපි බලමු අන්තර්ජාලය සම්බන්ධයෙන් ඉතිහාසය, history of internet. how history began through the with the internet. Right. The first network, actually, this internet history we can find from 60s, 1960s. The first network system established in 1969 in America. There is an organization called APRA. That's a specific organization, especially established. This organization was established especially for doing advanced research. Right? The same organization then later joined with the network systems. They first established a small network in 1969. Right? This network system called as APRANET. Right? APRA means Advanced Research Project Agency Network. That's the full name of the APRANET. This was first found in 1969. They are using a special communication system called packet switching technology. That is the technology they are using, the packet switching. Later you will learn in detail what is packet switching. Simply, I can say packet switching means that particular data, the suppose data you are sending, you break down into smaller parts. This one smaller part is known as packet. These packets are sending to the destination or intended location. Data are sending in the form of packets. Right. For this purpose, it is okay. Then later you will learn in detail how break down packets, how created the packets, what are the content there, all of these things. Then another special thing, protocol, NCP protocol. They are using NCP protocol to communicate with each other. Right? That protocol, what is protocol mean? Protocol mean, in simply I can say, set of rules. Set of rules that each and every devices in the network should follow. There should be a set of rule each and every devices in the network should follow. This set of rules called as protocol. The first protocol we are finding as NCP that used in the APRANET network in 1969. And today, I think some of you heard about HTTP. That today's when we in the internet, we are using the internet, we are browsing the internet. Normally, we can see that one HTTP. That's the protocol we are using today. But in that time, in 1969, they are using NCP protocol to communication purpose. Right. Okay. That's the first milestone when we discussed with the internet, 1969, first network. Right. Write down this one. Right. Then when we are discussing about the history of internet, the next important investigation happened in 1971. Actually, this is email, the foundation of email in 1971. That's also very helpful to data communication, to develop the data communication part. This email was invented by the person called Ray Tomlinson. He is the first person responsible to find in the email. When you consider the email address, I think all of you familiar with this email. If you are familiar with these email addresses, then you can remember the symbol there. What symbol called? @ symbol. Normally, this @ symbol used in the email address to separate the domain part and the username part. Right? Think about the email address. I think all of you familiar with email addresses. This email address has two separate sections. This separation done through a @ symbol, normally, left side of that symbol contain the username. That means your identity. The left side of the email contain the domain name. That means service provider's identity. If you have an email from Google, then what the domain name? google.com. The right side of the @ symbol, you can find google.com. Right, in that way. But in 1971, in that time, the first invented the email system. They are used this @ symbol in that machines also, but the separation, the initially used for separate recipient names and the computer, rather than the domain names we are using today. Right. That's the special about that investigation there in 1971. Finding email was very useful for the development of internet. Right. Write down that one. The second milestone, 1971, email. Right. Write down the lines. Right. Okay. Then next milestone actually happened in 1973, international communication. Right. In this year, that ARPANET, that after that organization were able to connected 40 universities. Right. 40 universities together. Right. To establish a network there, especially the universities, some universities in the Norway and the United States, to the share information about earthquakes. Right? Seismic information. That means seismic means vibration. Right? Vibration means earth vibration. How earth vibration happen. Especially that important for to study the earthquake. This type of information, to share this type of information, they were established a computer network system by considering 40 universities of both countries. That's a big milestone regarding the development of computer internet. Right? That was happened in 1973. It labeled as international communication. Right. Write down that one also. Right. Okay. That's about the 1973, what was happening regarding the internet, for the development of the internet. Then next milestone in 1974, the origin of IP. IP normally stands for Internet Protocol, what we are today using that. Here, after like network together is called internet network. They propose a new link to connect the organization like AFTRA were already established in that type of internet network they are proposed, that is called internetwork. Internetwork. The special feature of this internetwork is no central control. No central control. That means no authority. Right? With this ability given to this computer network because of the transmission control protocol. That's another investigation was published in the same year. Transmission control protocol. Today, normally we know we heard about these things, TCP/IP. I think some of you hear about this TCP/IP protocol, especially used in the internet. Right? The first use of this TCP/IP was in 1974. Right? That because of this TCP/IP protocol, what was happening? We can establish network system, internetwork systems without having any central control, no authority. Right. That's the idea behind that. 1974, the origin of IP. Right. Write down the things here. In 1974, the origin of IP. Right. Write down it. Right here, I made the mistake. By I think sound is not going to you. Did you hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
Did
Yes,
you
sir.
hear that? About domain, discussion of domain? Did you hear that?
No, sir.
No, sir.
That's because of that I am mute here. That is why I forgot to unmute.
Sir,
Okay.
can you share this presentation at edmund.com?
Sorry.
My presentation at edmund.com to the sir?
Yes, I uploaded it to the Edmodo. After this lesson, immediately after this lesson, I will be uploaded this presentation to the Edmodo.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I think you heard about the origin of IP. That one is okay. Then only the remaining the domain part. In 1983, the domain is the major investigation. Normally, domain we are using to convert web address into the IP address. Web address and IP address are two different things. Normally, web address is human friendly. When you are, if you are familiar with the internet things, right? If you are already go to some website, think about how you are going to then think about the address of the web. Normally start with HTTP, then www, then Google, google.com, in like that. Human friendly web address is there. But this text form web addresses, normally computers cannot understand. Only the computer can understand ones and zeros. Ones and zeros. Then there's a system called domain name system. What is doing this domain name system is convert these human friendly web addresses into IP addresses. IP addresses are another numerical form. Not ones and zeros, but it is another format. Once convert this human friendly web address into the computer, into the IP addresses, then inside the computers, these IP addresses convert into again ones and zeros. That's another process. We are not consider that part. Only the important thing is here, domain name system. We are using domain name system to convert web addresses, human friendly web addresses into IP addresses. IP address is the numerical form of the web address. Right. Later you will understand in detail the format of IP address. Right. Okay. That's about the domain. Now write down the part. I think you already write down it. Am I correct? Did you finish write down this part?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Here in brief, I will explain in single also. Internet history එක ගැන කතා කරද්දී මුලින්ම වැදගත්කම ඉන්නේ 1969 මුල්ම ජාලය පීඨවල තියෙන 1969 ARPANET කියන ඕගනයිසේෂන් එක සංවිධානය විසින් ARPANET කියලා කියන්නේ 1960 ගණන් වල ඇඩ්වාන්ස් රිසර්ච් කරන්න ඇමරිකාවේ හදපු ඕගනයිසේෂන් එකක්. ඒකේ එක පර්යේෂණයක් තමයි මේ ජාල පර්යේෂණ කටයුතු. ඒ ඔස්සේ 1969 හැකියාව ලැබුණා ජාලයක් හදන්න. කම්පියුටර්ස් කීපයක් එකතු කරලා ජාලයක් හදන්න හැකියාව ලැබුණා. මේ ජාලය තුල දත්ත sannivedanaya කරේ මේ පැකට් ස්විචින් කියන ටෙක්නොලොජි එක භාවිතා කරලා. ඒතර දත්ත එක තැනක ඉඳලා ගමන් කරන්න ප්‍රොටෝකෝල් එකකුත් අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ නීති මාලාවක් ප්‍රොටෝකෝල් එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. ජාලය තුල තිබෙන හැම පරිගණකයක්ම අනුගමනය කළ යුතු නීති මාලාවක් තමයි ප්‍රොටෝකෝල් එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒතර මේ ප්‍රොටෝකෝල් එකේ සහායයෙන් තමයි දත්ත එක තැනක ඉඳලා තවත් තැනකට ගමන් කරන්නේ. පැකට් ස්විචින් කියලා කියන්නේ මේ දත්ත යවන තැනින් මොකද කරන්නේ? පොඩි පොඩි කොටස් වලට කඩනවා. මෙන්න මේ පොඩි පොඩි පැකට් තමයි ජාලය හරහා ගමන් කරවන්නේ. ඒක නිසා තමයි අතන පැකට් ස්විචින් කියලා කියන්නේ. මේවා ගොඩක් විස්තරාත්මකව කතා කරන දේවල් පස්සේ network වගේ විෂයන් ඕගොල්ලන්ට තියෙනවා ඊළඟ semesters වල ඒ වගේදී කතා කරයි මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් protocols packet switching සම්බන්ධයෙන් විස්තරාත්මකව සාකච්ඡා වෙනවා. හොඳයි ඊට පස්සේ 1969 ඊට පස්සේ 1971 ඊමේල් කියන එක හොයා ගැනීම සිදු වුණා මේ රේ ටොම්ලින්සන් කියන පුද්ගලයා අතින්. එතනදී @ කියන එක භාවිතයට ආවා. මුලින්ම @ එක ඊමේල් ඇඩ්‍රස් එකට ආවේ ඔය 1971 සොයා ගැනීමත් එක්ක @ එක සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඕගොල්ලෝ ඊමේල් ඇඩ්‍රස් එකක් මතක් කරගත්තොත් ප්‍රධාන කොටස් දෙකක් තියෙනවා. @ එකෙන් වම් පැත්ත සහ දකුණු පැත්ත කියලා. @ එකෙන් වම් පැත්තේ තියෙන්නේ තමන්ගේ user ගේ identity එක. @ එකෙන් දකුණු පැත්තේ තියෙන්නේ service provider ගේ identity එක. දැන් Gmail address එකක් මතක් කරගන්න. @ එකෙන් දකුණු පැත්තේ තියෙන්නේ google.com කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ service provider ගේ identity එක. @ එකේ වම් පැත්තේ දෙන්නේ තමන්ගේ නම. තමන් දෙන නම. ඒ කියන්නේ තමන්ගේ identity එක. right. ඕක මුලින්ම භාවිතයට ආවේ 1971. නමුත් ඒ කාලේදී @ එකේ එක පැත්තක් recipient ගේ නම වර්තමානයේ වගේම username එක. නමුත් අනිත් පැත්තේ තිබ්බේ computer එක හඳුනා ගැනීම. ඒ විදිහට 71 වැදගත් වෙනවා. ඊළඟට 1973 ගොඩක් වැදගත් වෙන අවුරුද්දක් මේ අන්තර්ජාලයේ ඩෙවලොප්මන්ට් එක සම්බන්ධයෙන්. එතනදී හැකියාව ලැබිලා තියෙනවා මේ ARPANET කියන සංවිධානයේට ඕගනයිසේෂන් එකට ඇමරිකාව සහ නෝර්වේ කියන රටවල් දෙකේම තියෙන විශ්වවිද්‍යාල යුනිවර්සිටි 40ක් තියෙන කම්පියුටර්ස් එකට එකහවු කරලා ජාලගත කරන්න හැකියාව ලැබිලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට රටවල් දෙකක් තියෙන කම්පියුටර්ස් භාවිතා කරලා ජාලයක් හදපු පළවෙනි අවස්ථාව තමයි ඒ අවුරුද්දේ ගැනෙන්නේ. ඒක ඉන්ටර්නැෂනල් කොමියුනිකේෂන් කියලා එතන හඳුන්වනවා. විශේෂයෙන් මේ නෙට්වර්ක් එක භාවිතා කරේ seismic information කියන ඒවා හුවමාරු කරගන්න. seismic කියලා කියන්නේ පොළවේ සිද්ධ වෙන කම්පන vibration measure කරන ලබන තොරතුරු වල තමයි seismic information කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒතර අර භූමිකම්පා වගේ දේවල් වලදී ඉතා වැදගත් වෙනවා මේ seismic information කියන ඒවා. ඒවා හුවමාරු කර ගැනීමේ අරමුණින් තමයි මේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාල 40ක් එකතු වෙලා ජාලයක් පිටුවා ගත්තේ. ඊළඟට 1974 තවත් වැදගත් සිදුවීමක් වෙනවා IP ඉන්ටර්නෙට් ප්‍රොටෝකෝල් කියන එක සමග ට්‍රාන්ස්මිෂන් කන්ට්‍රෝල් ප්‍රොටෝකෝල් ඔය ඔක්කොම හොයා ගන්නවා. ඒක TCP IP ප්‍රොටෝකෝල් කියලා හඳුන්වනවා. ඒකේ තිබෙන විශේෂ වාසිය තමයි TCP IP හරහා ජාල විශාල ප්‍රමාණයක් එකට එක්කව කරන්න පුළුවන් කාගේවත් කන්ට්‍රෝල් එකක් නැතුව. no central control කියන්නේ ඒකයි. ඒකට අයිතියක් නැහැ. මධ්‍යගත පාලනයක් නැතිව ජාල සමූහයක් එකට එක්කව කරන්න පුළුවන්කම තියෙනවා මේ TCP IP කියන එක හරහා. ඒක 1974 සිද්ධ වුණ සිද්ධියක්. ඊට පස්සේ වැදගත් සිද්ධියෙන් 1983 domain name system කියන එක සොයා ගැනීමට ලක් වෙනවා. ඒක වැදගත් වෙන්නේ දැන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි දන්නවා web address කියන එක මතක් කරගන්න web address එකක් ඔයගොල්ලෝ browser හරහා තමයි අන්තර්ජාලයට ගිහිල්ලා web එකම බලන්නේ. ඒකේ උඩ තියෙනවා address bar කියලා එකක්. එතන අපි type කරනවා address එක නේ http www කියලා එහෙම type කරන්නේ. ඒක තමයි web address එක. ඒක user friendly. ඒක දිහා බලපුවම කෙනෙකුට පාසුවෙන් තේරෙනවා කොයි වගේ වෙබ්සයිට් එකකටද අපි යන්නේ. ඒක අපේ පැත්තෙන් අපිට පැහැදිලි. නමුත් ගැටලුව තියෙන්නේ පරිගණකයට ඕක තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. කම්පියුටරේට තේරෙන්නේ 1 සහ 0 විතරයි. ඒ නිසා අපි දෙන මේ වෙබ් ඇඩ්‍රස් එක කන්වර්ට් වෙන්න ඕනේ පරිගණකයට තේරෙන 1 සහ 0ට. දැන් මෙතනදී DNS එකෙන් මොකද කරන්නේ? අපි දෙන වෙබ් ඇඩ්‍රස් එක කන්වර්ට් කරනවා ඒ වෙබ් ඇඩ්‍රස් එකේම නියුමරිකල් ෆෝමැට් එකට. කම්පියුටරේට තේරෙන භාෂාවට නෙමෙයි 1 සහ 0ට නෙමෙයි. web address එකේම තියෙනවා මේ numeric format එකක් තියෙනවා. අංකන ආකෘතිය කියලා අපි කියනවා. ඒකට කියනවා IP address කියලා. ඒතර web address එක IP address එක බවට පත් කරන්නේ convert කරන්නේ මෙන්න මේ domain name system එක හරහා. ඊට පස්සේ IP address එක එක සහ බිඳුවට පරිගණකයේ ඇතුලේ සිද්ධ වෙන ක්‍රියාවලියක් කරා නැවත convert වෙනවා. ඒක මෙතනට අදාළ නැහැ. right. ඔය ආකාරයට domain name system කියන එක අපි හඳුනා ගන්නවා. ඒතර ඔය සිද්ධීන් ටික තමයි වැදගත් වෙන්නේ අන්තර්ජාල ඉතිහාසය තුල. හොඳයි. පැහැදිලිද මෙතනට නිකන්? Is it clear up to now?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Then, if you have any problems, doubts, you can ask me. Before we move into next slide, if you have any doubts or any problems, you can discuss now. Or otherwise, we can move to the next one, next part. Web pages and websites. Web pages and website. Here, before start some practical things, we should have some idea about web pages and websites. Right. Web pages mean the first try to understand what is web pages. Now you have some idea about internet. If you want to deliver, publish your information, some or your organization's information through the internet, how you are going to publish it? The web pages are the medium provide you to publish your information through the internet. Right. Web pages are the medium that you are using publish your information through the internet. The collection of pages, web pages, known as website. That's the brief about web pages and website. Here says web pages are the media that used to publish data and information through the internet. If you have something to publish through the internet, the first thing is you have to make a web page. Then only you can send your data through the internet. Right. Then types of data and information. What are the things? What are the types you deliver through the internet? Your data may be text in text form or picture forms. Here, look at some pictures. These are the text form. Then your data you can deliver from one location to another location in the form of pictures or videos. There are separate sites available to publish videos. Then another popular format is animation. Through the animation also you can send information information through the internet. Right. Then collection of internet web pages are known as website. Right. That's the difference between web pages and website here. Right. Write down the information here. Write down the information here. Right, I think you finished writing these things on your notebook. Here we identified the web pages, what is web page, then the difference between web pages and website. Right. Okay, then we are going to learn some how to create some web pages. That's actually the practical part that already I mentioned. This lesson I divided into 2 sessions. The first session for theory, discussing theory, then second session for practical. Right. Then next part I'm going to introduce you to developing web pages practically. Right. Okay. Then I give yes, few minutes break. Then 5:15 I will start again. Okay. Then it will go up to 6:15. Right, 1 hour. I will start in this lesson again 5:15. Please join 5:15 again.
Thank you, sir.
Right, okay, here now going to start the next session. I think all of you are here now. Yes. Right, in this session, you are going to develop some small, simple type of web pages using a tool called HTML. HTML. Right, we'll see how you can HTML to develop the web pages and websites. Right, okay, I think all of you can see my whiteboard here. Here, write down the topic HTML. HTML stand for hypertext, hypertext markup. Markup language. Write down the topic here. We are using HTML to develop simple web pages. Simple web pages. Right, here the first thing is you want to identify the requirements need to develop the web pages. The first requirement here to develop web pages, you should need a place where to write down the HTML codes. And HTML is not a programming language. It's only a coding system. Right? Therefore, you do not want to think designing the programming, the way of designing the programming. Here, no built up the flowcharts or pseudocodes. No need to flowchart or pseudocodes to write down the HTML coding. Only the things you want to know the codes. There are many codes in HTML to different purposes. Here the thing is you want to identify this HTML code and how they are using in the web. That's the things you want to understand. Therefore, it is very easy to develop web pages using HTML. Right. To develop the HTML code, before identify the rules and codes, the first thing is you want to identify the requirements. What are the things you need to develop HTML code? Here, first we are identified two requirements. You in your computer, you must have these requirements to run or develop the HTML code. The first one is the place where the place you have to run write down the codes. Normally, consider the program in C++ programs. In that case, there is a separate editor, code block, separate editor to write down the codes. So similarly, the other languages, Pascal or Java, Python programming, all of these have a separate compiler compiler with the editor to write down the codes. But when you are write down the HTML codes, no need to having a separate code, separate compiler to write down the code. That means you can use any editor on your computer to write down the codes. The first requirement is check whether your computer having with the code editor. You need the editor. Normally, all of your computers, you have a notepad editor. Example, notepad editor. This is the one most popular editor we are using to write down the codes. Right? There are some versions available, Notepad++ like that. If you can download these editors and you can use it. There are more features available with those editors, right? Then coloring codes like that. There are many features there. But Notepad one is the already have on your computers. You can easily use that. That type of things, advantages having with the normal Notepad editor. Right. The first requirement is editor. Then second requirement is you need a browser. Browser. What is browser? Browser is the software that you are using to access web pages and website. I think all of you know these different types of browsers. Example, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge. Nowadays it renamed as Microsoft Edge. Right. In that way, check whether your computer having with these requirements. You need the editor and a browser. Right. Write down here. To develop HTML codings, HTML coding, you need to have following requirements. You need to have following requirements. Requirements. Write down one, editor, second one, browser. Right, I think you finished writing these things here. Right, to develop the HTML codes, you need the following requirements. You need to have an editor on your computer. You can select the Notepad as editor. That's the example. Then also you need browser in your computer. The browsers may be Google Chrome or Firefox. Any browser you can use it. And then next we'll see how you can build up the HTML program. Right now you can use the editor to that. Right, then we'll see the way of build up the HTML program. Now write down the topic here, structure structure of HTML program. Structure of HTML codes. And here we are going to learn the basic structure of the HTML codings. When consider the HTML program, it has three sections. Actually, considered, you can categorize as two sections. The one is heading. The other one is body. Each and every HTML program having these sections, heading and a body. Right, write down here. The structure of the HTML program HTML program having with following sections, having with the following sections. Following section. One, heading. The second one, body. Heading and body. Right. Then, what are the things you are using to build up the HTML codes? That normally when consider the C++, you are using instructions. You are using instructions to build up the C++ program. But in this case, we are not saying instructions. If you want to build up HTML program, instead of instruction, here we are using the name called tags. Tags. You are using tags to build up the HTML program. If you consider the C++ program, in that case, they are using instructions. But HTML is not a complete programming language. To develop HTML codes, they are using the term called tags. Through the tags, we can develop our HTML codes. This tag means this tag contain these symbols. Less than and greater than symbol. Tag made up of these symbols. Write down under that tags. Tags are the object that use to develop HTML coding. Tags are made up. Tags are made up with less than and greater than symbol. less than and greater than symbols. Less than and greater than symbols. Right. Is it clear the points up to now? Is it clear the points up to now?
Yes, sir.
Right. Right. Then we'll forward to the next. Then we'll see what is the problem. Is there any problem? You can ask. Next, write down syntax. Syntax of tags. Syntax of tags. Syntax means the way of using these tags in the HTML. The way of using the codes, these tags in the HTML. Syntax of tags. The tags syntax is like that. Start with this symbol. Start with this symbol. Then put the element. Then keep a space. Then put attributes. I will explain it. The first write down. There may more than one attribute. Therefore, these attributes you can separate by keeping a space. Attribute 1, then giving a space. Attribute 2, like that. You can give any number of attributes by giving space in between. Then at last, put this symbol to complete the tag. This is the format of tag. Write down it. Syntax of tag. Now we'll see some examples. An example explain how actually use these things. How actually use these things. The syntax says the way of using the tags. The way of using the tags is differ from the actual use. The example every time. The example says how actually you are going to use these tags in the codes. Syntax and example. In the C++ programming also similar things are syntax there. The syntax is differ, the way of using. The actually using is by looking at the syntax, you can build up the actual, how actually use. Right. For example, suppose this one, HTML. HTML. This is the tag name. The element mean here tag name. Every time you want to put the tag name. This one also put here under element tag name. Right. This first example, HTML. HTML. You want to put the tag in this way. Look at the difference between this syntax and the example. When you are giving the tag name or element in the example, don't put any double quote mark here. but in the syntax you can find this double quote mark. But in the example, actually you are writing it, no need to put this double quote mark there. Only just put the tag name, HTML. Normally, this tag we are using to start the HTML program. This tag we are using to start the HTML codes or program. Then see another example. Example number 2, head. Head. Normally this head tag you are using to start the heading part of the program. To start heading part of the program. That's example number 2. Still we are considering only the elements part without attributes. Right. See another example with attributes. Another example with attribute. Body. Another example, body. Normally body tag we are using to start the body part. Body, which suppose body tag has an attribute called BG color. BG color. The later you will understand what is happening when we are using this BG color with the body tag. Now don't worry that if you not understand, it's okay. Just think there is an attribute called BG color with the body tag. That how you are going to use it is here. First use the element name or tag name, body, then keep a space here, keep a space, then attribute name. Attribute name, BG color. And also you want to specify the value. Value you want to specify by giving this mark equal and the color name. Suppose red. BG color is the attribute name, red is the value. That is also important. Here mention it. BG color is the attribute name. Attribute name. Red mean value. Attribute value. Right. That's the use of body with the BG color attribute. Right. By applying this tag, what is happening? Actually, what is happening by applying these tags, we'll learn later. For now, to understand how you can write down the codes, tags. How write down the tags. Right. Example number 1, HTML. That's the one example for tag. That tag normally we are using to start the HTML codes. Then second one, head. Normally heading we are using to start the heading part. Then body. Body tag we are using to normally start the body part. Right. Okay, is it clear up to now? Is it clear up to now?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Then we'll move to again the structure of the HTML. Structure of the HTML that already we write down the topic, that part. Structure contain. Can you remember what are the parts contain the structure? Heading, and the what the other part?
Body.
Body. Structure and body. Right. Now we are going to learn how the heading will look like, how the body parts start. We should want to know the tags necessary to start the headings and the body. That's the thing we in the HTML have. We should familiar with the each and every tags. Right. Without knowing these tags, you can't write down the HTML form. Right. Okay. Then try to do this example here. We are going to do an example. Through example, you will learn how you can organize this HTML coding. Right. The first heading part, to start the heading, use this tag. Normally, that earlier I mentioned it. Normally use HTML tag. That's the start of coding. Use HTML. Right. Then we are going to start the heading. This part. To start heading, what is the tag we are using? That earlier mentioned it. Can you remember?
Head.
Head.
Very good. Then next line, put head. Here, spellings is very important when you are doing the HTML coding. You need to give exact spellings here, then it will not run. Use head tag. Then here, look at some space between the first line and second line. Actually, no need to put this space here. Only to understand, I keep this space here. When you are doing practically, no need to give in this space here. Right? Just put the no need to give in the space there. Head part. Once you complete the heading, then head part, there are some codings available. Then once you finish giving the coding here, head, then you want to close it. That's another important thing. Once you open the tag, then you need to close it. Now we start creating the HTML program. That means here open. To open the HTML program, we use HTML tag. Next, we start the heading part or open the heading part. To open the heading part, we use heading tag. This is only to understand. Now, necessary things you can add in the heading section. Once you add in, finish adding the necessary things inside the heading, then you want to close it. There is a rule to close the tags. Then later I will explain it. To now, see how can close the tags here. This head tag you can close in this way. Use this symbol. Use this symbol with slash. This is the symbol for closing. Slash and the tag name. Tag name. Right? This is for closing. Close the tag. Now, head is open, then head is closed. Right. Once you close the heading, then you can start the next part. That means body. To start the body part, use the tag. What's the tag you want to use it? After closing the head, you can straight away start the body part. To start the body part, use the tag that earlier mentioned it. Use body. Body tag. That earlier I gave that example with the attribute. The later we can use these attributes. The first try to use with only the tags names. Body. Then open the body here. Open. Then you can add the things here under body part. Then no spaces here to below. Therefore, I am moving to this side. Once you finish adding the things to body, then close the body. How you are going to close? Use this symbol. The similar symbol to close the heading part also. That's the way closing the heading. That finally you want to close the very first tag. To open the HTML program, we are using HTML tag. Then finally, at last, you want to close this tag also. HTML. Okay, is it clear that structure? The structure, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Okay, okay. Write down the structure here, this one. I will give 1 minute to complete that part. Write down this one. Right, okay, then I think you finish writing this one. Now we'll see to do some complete examples. Then you will understand better how you can construct the HTML coding. Right, your first example. Example 1, write down the example. Write down HTML program. Write down HTML codes to change the title, to change the title of the title bar in the browser. In the browser. Right. Write down the question and read it again. Write down HTML codes to change the title of the title bar in the browser. Can you understand? Can you understand the thing here? What I'm asking to do? They are asking, write down HTML program to change the title of the title bar in the browser. Do you know the title bar in the browser? Remember the browser, the picture of the browser? Suppose this is a browser, Google Chrome browser, like that. Here the title bar means in this area, blue color bar, I think you can remember the place where I am pointing now. There's a blue color bar in the top of the screen. That is called title bar. In the title bar already is a title that is called default title. Here we are going to change the default title into your own title. Default title into your own title. Right. Remember that point. If you not remember, it's okay. I will show it. But for now, remember where is the title exists. In the browser, this part, this the other part called the body. It's the body part. This is the place where we are adding different type of text, then pictures, tables, right? Those types of data we are going to add to the body part. Still, we don't know how to add even the text. Even this first program also explain how to change the title bar. Title in the title bar. Right, look at here. Right. Then tell me the tags here.
Tag
Try to develop with me. What's the first tag I am using to here?
HTML.
Right, very good. HTML.
HTML.
Then
Head.
Head.
yeah. Okay.
Title.
This is the place where we are going to change our title. The title is available in the heading part. Heading part in the HTML. Therefore, here we are going to use a new tag called title. What is happening from this title is they are trying to change the title of the title bar. Right. Under heading, we are using a new tag called title. This is the way how you can use this tag, title. Then in front of this tag, write down the title which you need to display. Write down the title which you need to display. For example, suppose my first HTML
Work.
program. Default title, we are going to change the default title into this one. That's the end of giving the title. We are write down the title. Now, before we move into the next tag, that means we want to close the head title. Before that, we want to close title tag. How you are going to close the title? Remember the symbol, this greater than symbol with the slash. Then put the title name, tag name, and complete the tag. Right. Now we finish giving the title here. Now finish, close the heading part. Head. Then start body. Right. Your first program here, suppose the body is empty, therefore no need to give in anything here. Just close the body part. Close the body, then finally close the HTML part. Right, okay. Write down this example, then I will show how to use editors and browsers to write down and run these codings.
Excuse me, sir.
Sorry?
Body part එක use කරෝ නැතිව body part එක අපන mark කරන්න ඕනද code
Close
එකට
කරන්න ඕනේ. ඔව් මේ close කරන්න ඕනේ.
නෑ use කරලා නැත්
use කරලා මම හිතන්නේ disconnect වුණාද මොකද්ද
නෑ නෑ sir මේ ගෙදර මේ body part එක අපි use කරලා නැතුව තිබ්බොත්
ඔව්
අතන body කියලා දාලා ඊට පස්සේ ආයෙ close කරන්න ඕනද කියලා මම
ඔව් close කරන්න ඕනේ body කියන එක use කරා නම් close කරන්න ඕනේ
නෑ use කරලා නැතුව තිබ්බොත් අපි දැන් title එක විතරනේ අපි දාලා තියෙන්නේ
ඔව් title
head
එක
එකට
විතරයි
පස්සේ HTML එක විතරත් close කරන්න පුළුවන්ද නැත්නම් body එකම දාන්න ඕනද?
ඔව් දාන්න ඕනේ මෙතන.
දාන්න ඕනේ.
ඔව් මේක දාන්න ඕනේ. නැත්තම් run වෙන්නේ නැහැ program එක.
Thank you.
Okay. right ලියාගත්තද? ලියලා ඉවරද? Complete we'll give 1 minute to complete. Right, okay, then before we move into the actual code, then one thing I want to remember here, once you finish writing the codes, then what are the steps you need to do, run the program. Then you want to understand that also. Once you finish writing the codes, then how you are going to get the output, how you are going to run the program. Right, to run this program, you want to follow these steps. Write down here the steps needed to run the program. Steps needed to run the program. I delete this area. And here you have to remember, you must remember the points or steps needed to run this program. Right. Then step number 1, once you finish write down the program, then next step under steps needed to run the program, the first one, you want to save it. Save the program. Save the program. When you are saving the program, remember, give the extension. Right? Normally, when you are saving the other programs, like suppose for simple word processing, word program, once you create document, then just you give the name. You are not considered about the extension. That automatically take it. But here you have to consider the extension. Please remember, giving extension when you are saving the program. The extension must be in this program. When you are saving the program, you must give the extension as .html or also correct .html. Very important, this point. When you are saving the program, remember giving file extension. This file extension may be .htm or .html. Example, suppose you want to save your first program as my first. Suppose you want to save your first program as my first. That's the name of your program. Right now, someone tell me the complete name. Program name is my first. Program name is my first.
My first .html.
Yes, my first. Then dot, put the dot mark here, dot htm or html. This is the way you want to save the program. Remember that point. Right. Then once you save the program, then second step is open this program with the web browser. Open the program with a web browser. Write down these two steps. Those are the steps needed to run your program. The first step is save your program. When you are saving, remember giving the extension, file extension. File extension may be .htm or .html. Look at the example here. Suppose your program name is my first. Then give the file name as my first. Then put .htm. That's the extension. Or .html. That's also okay. Right. Once you save your program correctly, then the second step, open this program, open this file using the web browser. Then you can see the particular result in the web browser. Right. Now I am going to show this program actually how you can build up and run the program. Right. Is it clear up to now? Is there any problem?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Right. Okay. Then see how you can actually build up this program. Right. That remember the points. Right. Tell me one by one. What's the first step I want to do here now?
Open the notepad.
Open a
Notepad.
notepad. That means editor. Right. All of your computers having this notepad. If you find it difficult, then you can type the notepad here. Type the name of notepad. Then it will list out at the top here notepad. Click on there. Then you can find the notepad here. And then you need a browser also. After write down this program, after saving, then I will open the browser and show you. Right now, tell me the steps. First step is
HTML.
yes, HTML.
Head.
Then yeah, head.
Title.
Title.
My first.
Title is my first HTML program.
Close the title.
Yeah. Yes. Then close the tag. Very good. Others also help me to write down this.
Body.
Then, before start the body,
Close it.
please the others can correct me if I made sometimes I made the errors.
HTML title.
Yes. Yeah,
Close
open the title.
Close the
Then
title.
close it. It should be the name of the title. Once close the title, then
Body.
before start the body, you want to close this section. close the head, then you can start body. This time, suppose nothing inside the body, therefore don't put anything, just close the body section, and finally you must close the HTML part. That's enough. That's the first HTML program. Right. Once you complete, write down the HTML program, write down the coding, then what you want to do? Save
as.
Save it, file, click on file, then select save or save as, then you will find the save as box. Right, now select the place where you want to save. Right. Actually, this one is important. Most of the time you forgot it. The place where you save your program. You just give the file name and save it. That default saving is under documents or somewhere else. Then later you will forget it. Therefore, best thing is create the folder according to your subject. Then use this folder to save your web programs. The similar thing you can do for the C++ programs also. Create a separate folder for C++, then all the C++ program save inside there. Right, here I am using my D drive. Then I am using my name here. Right, then I have no folder inside here called HTML. To save all the HTML file, I am create a new folder called HTML. Right, now select this subfolder HTML. This is the path. This is the place. I selected the place where I want to save my HTML files. Right, once you select your place, then come to file name. File name. Here you want to give a file name. Suppose your file name is my first. Then you must specify the file extension. File extension that earlier I explained it. It may be .htm or you can use .html. Both are correct. Right. Another thing here, remember when you are saving the files, please put this symbol, double quote mark. Use this one. Otherwise, it will take automatically the default extension. Default extension is .txt. To avoid this, getting this default extension, use this double quotation mark. Right. Then again, I will show you when you are saving the program, use double quote marks. The first open the double quote, then give the file name, my first, use extension as .htm, then close the double quote mark. Please remember giving this double quotation mark.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
ये double quote mark use करन නැතුව save කරන්නත් පුළුවන් නේ.
නැතුව දුන්නොත් okay default extension එක ගන්නවා. බොහෝ වෙලාවට ඒක වෙනවා. හරි. බොහෝ වෙලාවට default extension එක ගන්නවා. Default extension එක තමයි මේ යට තියෙන්නේ. save as type.txt. double quotes දුන්නේ නැත්නම් මොකද වෙන්නේ? myfirst.htm.txt කියලා අන්තිමට ගන්නවා. මේක වළක්වන්න තමයි .htm දාලා double quotes දැම්මේ.
Okay.
ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඒක වෙනවා. බොහෝ 90%ට වැඩිය එහෙම වෙනවා. right? ඒ නිසා මතක ඇතුව double quotes දාලා ඒක ඇතුලේ save කරන්න. තේරුණාද වට එක? මොකක්ද තේරුණාද? හරිද? අහපු කියලා?
Oh.
Right.
හරි.
Right, okay. Then after you giving this name, file name, click button here, save button. Right, now save. Right, then next step you want to open this file with the browser. Then opening file, actually no need to teach you how to open the files. Find the location from File Explorer. Then I am saving it in the D drive. Then I use my name for the main folder. And the main folder, I created the file called HTML. Inside that, here, I am finding my first program here. That's my first. Now you can just double click on it to open the file. Double click on it. Right. Then once you double click, that here there are some other tabs also. I am going to close this all the other tabs. Right. Please look at the output of your program. Can you see the my first HTML program? The title, we change the title.
Also.
පේනවනේ the title එක වෙනස් කරපු තැන. මෙන්න මේ උඩ මේ තියෙන my first HTML program. තේරුණාද ඒක?
Yes,
අපි
sir.
හිතමු
Yes, sir.
මොකද? right. අපි හිතමු title එක මට වෙනස් කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. දැන් තියෙන title එක my first HTML program. Instead of that, I want to put here title as test program. එහෙනම් අලුත් title එක එතන දෙන්න. test program කියලා දෙන්න. දැන් අලුතෙන් යමක් කරයින් පස්සේ නැවත මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ? ආයෙ save කරන්න ඕනේ. නැවත මොනවා හරි කරයින් පස්සේ නැවත file ගිහිල්ලා මේක ආයෙ save as යන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඒ නමින්ම save කරන්න save කියන එක උඩ click කරන්න. අනිවාර්යෙන් මතක ඇතු මොනවා හරි modification කරා නම් program එක save කරන්න. If you are doing any modification for the program, please save it again. Right. Once you save it again, then again return to browser. Browser එකට ආපහු යන්න. දැන් අපේ title එක test program කියලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ. මේක තියෙන මේ තියෙන ඉස්සෙල්ලම run කරපු එක. My first program. දැන් අලුත් එක තාම run කරේ නැහැ. මොකද කරන්නේ මම? දැන් අලුත් එක run කරන්න මොකද කරන්නේ? ආපහු location එක හොයන් ගිහලා double click කරනවා.
refresh කරන්න බෑ.
නැහැ. මෙතනම ආපහු refresh කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේ තියෙන උඩ මේ rounded arrow එක තමයි refresh icon එක. මේක උඩ click කරන්න. මේක උඩ මම දැන් click කරනවත් එක්කම බලන්න මේ title එක වෙනස් වෙනවද නැද්ද? දැන් test program කියලා වෙනස් වුණා. තේරුණාද? Right. That's the way you are changing your title in the browser, web browser. Right. Still, we are not inserting anything on your browser. Therefore, that is why this body part is you can see in the white color there. Nothing inside it. Nothing inside it means if you compare with this program, see in the body section, still open tag and closing tag there. Nothing inside here. Right. Now, if you want, you can add something. That first thing we are going to insert text. Suppose you want to insert my name. Then just put the text here. My name is suppose Chandana. Now I am modify the program. Then once you modified it, then what you want to do? Again, save it. Save the program. Then back to the browser. Then refresh it. Then see what is happening. What's happening there now? Something added to your body section. My name is Chandan. Right? That's the part I want to add. I added it to the body part. Then save it. Then back to the browser. Then refresh. Then whatever the add to the body part, now you can appear in the body section. Can you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then one thing before stop the class, another thing that earlier I introduced you to attributes, something called attributes. Then if you want to use more power with your tag, then you can add different types of attribute. Using attributes, you can add more power to your tags. One example, suppose if you want to change the color of this background, body background, color of body background. Right. Remember the third example when I explained in the tags? Can you remember it? The third example,
Yes.
here, just use the body. If you want to change the body color, then you want to add attributes.
Body background.
Yeah. With the body tag, give space here. The way of using I already explained there. Body, give a space. Now put the attribute name. The body tag has a specific attribute called BG color. BG color helps to change the background of your browser. Right? How you can use it? Just put the name of attribute BG color. Don't put any space between BG and color. If you are giving the space meaning, it will not work. You must use it the same way I use here, BG color. It is okay to use in capital or simple. That's okay. Capital or simple, you can use any letters, but do not keep any spaces. Then don't mistake spelling mistake. Don't do any spelling mistakes. Right? Just put the same way I put here, BG color. Then you want to give the value. Normally you are giving value by putting equal symbol here. Equal. In this time, the colors, there are different ways to giving the color. Then later you will understand it. The colors normally have numbers. Through the numbers, you can specify the colors, or you can specify colors by giving their exact name. This time I am going to use the exact names of the color. Suppose your background color you want to change into yellow. Yellow is the text, therefore that all the text values you give in within the double quotation mark. Then give the color name yellow, then close this double quotation mark. Right, that's enough. This line change the background of your web browser. Right, now I made the changes. Click file, click save. Now back to the browser. Now refresh it. Right, here change the background color. Right, that's the thing I want to discuss today. Then try to do this practical. Whatever the things we are doing just now here, try to do it yourself. I know you can't do any other examples here because still we have to do more things. Just you can put the text like that, but you can't change the settings. You can't change the formattings here. That means how to center it, how to bold it, how to change the colors of text. Those types of things you don't know. Right. The next time I am explaining how you can format the text, how you can insert the different items, objects to body. Those of things I will going to explain next time. Right. The today's lesson is okay. Finish now. Okay. Thank you very much for the participation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.